right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? The catch. Fam, hope everyone is doing fantastic. Happy Sunday to everyone out there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Week 4. Got one game down from Thursday night, but we've got Sunday's NFL slate kicking off in about an hour and 15 minutes. So, got a lot of updates just from the time we streamed last night to the time we are streaming right now. A lot to go over and a lot of fantasy rosters that will be impacted. So, you know what we need to do? Some live fantasy Q&A. Anything that you guys need, start, sits, trades, roster reviews, last-minute waiver additions, injury updates, weather updates, whatever it is, get in the live chat. We're going to have some fun this morning. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So, man, oh man. Okay, so I put together today's video last night, and as soon as I'm done, recording, and I'm like halfway through my edit, Deebo Samuel is active, which probably would have been nice to know, because that would have been something that I would have talked about in today's video. But Deebo is active, so how does that impact guys like Jawan Jennings? It's probably the main person we're looking at. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. It's a good matchup here for the Niners wide receivers today. The Patriots secondary, it's like good week 1, and then after that, just not so good. So I think they're 21st against opposing wide receivers in fantasy. So here's the problem. Like, a lot of people still want to start Jawan Jennings because he had a ton of fantasy points last week, but I just don't know if Jawan Jennings is going to be a good start today. He might be, but it's just so risky. Kittle's back. Deebo's back. It's a good matchup. We saw 10 targets to Ayuk last week and 12 to Jennings. So, how exactly do I feel? I think Deebo Samuel should be started. I think Ayuk is fine. I think Jennings is like a volatile, kind of flex option. So, that's probably where I'm going to leave it at. Kittle's still a good start, of course. I mean, tight ends are awful. So, but we look back to last week, Ronnie Bell had 3 targets. And outside of, it's just all Jennings and Ayuk. Eric Saubert had 2 targets. So that's 5 targets last week for the Niners, not including the running backs. I mean, Jordan Mason only had 2 targets. So not including Jordan Mason, that's 5 total targets outside of what Jennings and Ayuk saw last week. So that worries me because we look at Deebo. Deebo had 9 targets week 1, 10 in week 2. So, there's definitely a scenario here where the most potential targets Jennings is looking at is like 3 to 5. And that was without Kittle playing. Kittle had 5 targets in week 1 and 8 in week 2. And I don't quite know that this matchup against the Patriots is going to be like super heavy game script for the Niners. We'll see. But, we're just looking at 5-day targets for Kittle that were vacated, 9 to 10 targets for Deebo that were vacated. Those targets are now back. Ayuk has had 5, 5, and 10 in terms of targets. So I don't know what's really left for Jawan Jennings today. And I just think he becomes a really risky start. So for me, Jennings with Deebo playing becomes like a volatile flex option. But you can still start him. He's still tied to a very good offense. But I just think we have to really tamper our expectations for Jawan Jennings today. So, okay. Outside of Deebo being activated, Keenan Allen is active today. We expected this. We talked about it last night. I still like Rome Odunze going into today. I know Allen had 11 targets week 1, but I don't really have a lot of confidence in Keenan Allen today. It's a good matchup for what it's worth. I mean, you got nothing better. You can take the matchup here, but I'm not feeling overly confident in Keenan Allen as a start today. Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara will both be active. I was watching like a pregame NFL show before I got on while I was eating my oatmeal, and Chris Olave looked good in warm-ups. My professional opinion, watching warm-ups, Chris Olave looked good. Kamara is not 100%, but he's going to play. So this is it's kind of similar. I talked about it. Justin Herbert's going to play today, right? Jordan Love's going to play today. They're not 100%, but they're in a divisional matchup. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, the most important pieces to the Saints offense, are going to play because they're playing the Falcons. Joe Mixon is out today. He will not play due to his ankle injury. Check. Cam Akers might be available. Guys, I don't think Cam Akers is going to have like 25 plus fantasy points, but he's a super solid start today. Talked about it all week long. Talked about it on this morning's video. Talked about it on yesterday's video. Cam Akers is available. Last I checked, he was at like 51% rostered. He was like 45% rostered on Saturday. You can plug Akers in. He's a safe start. Super safe start. Good floor. The Jags suck. They're 28th against running backs. Rashad White and Bucky Irving are both expected to play today. Pray to the fantasy gods if you're going to start one of those two. I'm getting very annoyed with that backfield. All right, so we've talked about everything else. AJ Brown's out. Herbert's out. Love's going to play. Kenneth Walker's going to play. Bad matchup for Walker. Tyler Huntley starting. Sam Laporta will play against the Seahawks. I think he is fine to start. It's a good matchup for him. Tank Dell's out. Devonta Smith is out. Jalen Warren's out. Addison's going to play. McBride is out. And Njoku's out. Evan Ingram's out. Devontae Adams is out. Deontay Johnson. I think Deontay Johnson is still listed as questionable, so we want to keep an eye on that. Austin Eckler's out. All right, that should do. You guys probably know all this stuff. All right, let's get to your guys' fantasy questions. Let me know what you guys need. Happy week 4, ladies and gentlemen. Smokey, what's good, bro? Is there any value to keep Garando on the bench with CMC? Sure, there's value. He's a handcuff. To me, that's it. Handcuff. Nothing more. I'm not overly excited about rostering him, but if you're needy at running back, it's fine. You can roster him, but I don't really think he's going to see a lot of value unless Jordan Mason goes down. So, yes, there's value, but handcuff purely. Orak, good morning. Astoria, probably not saying that right. I can't say anything right. My biggest flaw. Do you know any ideal trade targets for CMC? So are you trading away CMC or are you trying to trade for him? It's really going to depend on the roster that has CMC. And then if you're giving him up, it really depends on what you can potentially get back. I think if you're trying to trade CMC, you got to look at, a team that is kind of the top of your league, which might not feel good. Okay, so you're trying to trade him out. Yeah. So I would definitely try to get a running back in return if you guys do trade Christian McCaffrey, which I am worried about Christian McCaffrey for the fantasy season, but now we have reports coming out that Christian McCaffrey is going to be ready by November, which would still make him valuable for the fantasy season. That would be like another 4 games, right? So let's see if that happens. 1, 2, 3. They have a week 9 bye, so that kind of actually makes sense. But he'd be back in like the week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 area. I mean, it's still Christian McCaffrey. So, like, my kind of theory has been hold on to Christian McCaffrey because you're selling him so low that I just don't think you're getting the right return, because when C-Mac is theoretically healthy, then he's still going to play at his ceiling, right? But at the same time, I do have concerns. Like, it's a very weird situation. I don't think you or me or anyone else really knows what's going on here. So I would personally probably hold, but if you're like 0-3 and panicking, I get it. But I would try to get a running back in return. I've seen like Monty in a lot of mixes for fantastic. We've got guys like Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr., someone of that tier, maybe a Zach Moss. I think that's a little bit lower, but probably okay. Get someone of like that tier, and then just get somebody else of value, whether it's a wide receiver, running back as well. Just don't undersell Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I get that the situation is concerning, but this is still C-Mac, right? So, yeah, we'll see. All right, very quickly, J-Dubs, thank you for gifting a 1-month membership. Goes to Hass. Enjoy the 1-month membership. Emojis in the chat for you. What's up, J-Dubs? Good luck today. Unless you're playing me. Are you playing me? I don't think you are. Maybe. We're in a lot of leagues together. Or start Daniels or Purdy. I'll take the upside. I'll take Daniels. I do think Purdy's good today. You know, I like Purdy today, but yeah, give me the upside against the Cardinals. Cardinals, Commanders, highest over under on the week. Doesn't really mean anything, but you know, should be a lot of points in that game. Access, start 2 running backs, 1 flex. Monty, Najee, Akers, Deontay, Meyer. So always starting Monty. I'll put Akers over Najee, tied to better offense. I like Najee's matchup. Good start. I might be a little high on the Akers copium this weekend, but I like Akers. If you want to go Najee, I think that's okay. I would flex Deontay Johnson if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, could certainly flex Jacoby Myers. Orax, start 2, Pollard, K9, ETN. I'd probably just start Pollard, and I'd probably start Kenneth, but it's a bad matchup for Kenneth. Still tied to better offense than ETN. I mean, ETN is fine. Here's the thing. Like, if you just want to roll ETN, I don't have an issue with it. ETN has been good. He just has a low ceiling because he's tied to the Jaguars, who suck. You know, I mean, like, they probably are going to get back on track to some degree, but it's like, I just don't know what the ceiling for this Jaguars offense is right now. You know, it can't be much worse than what it's been. So Kenneth just has such a bad, like, I'm very back and forth on Kenneth today because he's coming off the injury and it's just such a bad matchup. And Charbonnet was playing so well that I think there's definitely real potential that we see a lot of Charbonnet in this game as well. Like, just a good mix of the two. So this is a tough one. I go Pollard for sure. Good matchup for him this weekend, or I guess tomorrow. But yeah, I worry about the other two. I think it's a coin flip. Low ceiling between Kenneth and ETN this weekend. Good volume for both. Hass, good morning. Baker or Love? I probably lean Jordan Love. I'm kind of opening back up to this matchup between the Vikings and the Packers. We got the 2 highest scoring fantasy defenses in this game, but I'm not going to be overly panicked here. I think that we're going to see some points scored in this game. Both secondaries against the wide receiver position from a fantasy perspective are still kind of in the back tier, like not bottom tier, but the Vikings are 17th and the Packers are 19th. Plus, let me double check. I've been kind of trying to track if Jair Alexander is going to play today or not. I think that is going to help things a lot as well. If he's out, he has 2 picks in the last 3 weeks. He's inactive. Yeah, as of 24 minutes ago. So I like Jordan Love and Sam Darnold more as I see things opening up a bit more in this game potentially with Alexander out. So definitely improve Sam Darnold's play. But I like Jordan Love. If you're worried about the injury, about the return, all of that, fair. He might be limited today. Probably won't be like super mobile or anything. If you want to go Baker, it's okay. But the Eagles aren't really allowing a ton of fantasy points to the quarterback position. But their secondary is so weak that I still like Baker. I mean, Eagles are 12th against fantasy quarterbacks on the season. You know, they brought Derek Carr way down to earth last week at 8 fantasy points. So, yeah, I probably lean Love, but Baker's still okay. I think like Baker and Carr, if you guys have them, rode the highs of the first 2 weeks, they're still okay today. Still good streaming options. Jawan Jennings or Michael Wilson? Honestly, I will go Michael Wilson. I'm worried about Jawan Jennings. We started off the stream breaking that down, and the amount of targets that were vacated last week, the amount of targets that are now no longer vacated with Kittle and Debo back. I'm very worried about Jawan Jennings. He becomes a true volatile boomer bust play for me in the flex. Michael Wilson, great matchup. I mean, Michael Wilson still is volatile as well, but I would take Michael Wilson with a safer floor. Is Debo someone you're rolling out today, maybe over Aaron Jones? Yes, Debo's always, if healthy, Debo, you have to start. The upside's too high. Jones been very, very good. Nothing against him, but Debo. Mr. Anderson, season-long league, mixing out. Should I start Gibson, Hill, or Davis? Wow. Justice Hill is my play. I mean, Gibson's probably okay. The Niners' run defense is not good, but Gibson is like really touchdown dependent. Like he hasn't even scored a touchdown this year, I don't think. But he's been getting more and more increased volume, which has been nice. But no, I would rather start. I'd rather start Justice Hill. B-Tom or Higgins? Coin flip. I think Higgins probably has more upside. I'd probably go Higgins, but I like Brian Thomas. It's a tough one. 12-team hordes running backs. Yeah, I will go Justice Hill. I mean, the nice thing with Justice Hill is like the game script's going to be there. Bills, Ravens, high scoring, Sunday Night Football. More opportunity for Justice Hill to potentially catch passes. I was in a huge pickle last week with injuries, and similar situation. Nothing on the waiver wire. I just threw Justice Hill in. He got me like 6 points. I won my matchup by like 6 points. Senior Cinnabon, if you're in the chat, I'm sorry. But literally, I mean, like, sometimes you just got to take points because they're points. Akers or Najee? I mean, I'm in on the Akers copium. I'm high on life. I'm high on Cam Akers. I'm going Akers. But I like Najee Harris a lot. I mean, I like Najee early in the week. I still like Najee. Good matchup. But I prefer Akers. There's a poll question for the day. Start a poll. Because I want to get a gauge on how you guys feel about Cam Akers. Who you starting in week 4? And guys, if you haven't done so already, hit the like. Hit the dang like button. All right, who are we starting, ladies and gentlemen? Cam Akers. By the way, Deontay Johnson just listed as active. If you own Deontay Johnson, he is playing. Just got the notification. Cam Akers or Najee Harris. We got Akers versus Jacksonville. Najee versus Indianapolis. Let me know. Hit the like and let's keep rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Let's go week 4. Orac, need 2 in full PPR. McLaurin, Lockett, Waddle, Kirk, Lazard, Leggett, Michael Wilson. I'll take the floor and Terry McLaurin. And I think Kirk is fine. But the game script really benefited Kirk last week. I'm still concerned about Kirk. So Michael Wilson's a nice upside play here if you want to start him. But I actually like Waddle too. Waddle, I think, maybe not a lot of upside this week, but a good floor. So I'm really boring. I'd probably go McLaurin and Waddle, but you want to throw some upside in here, maybe go Michael Wilson. Chase, Darnold or Love? I go Darnold by a hair. Let's see here. Likely or Conklin? Conklin. I mean, what are we gonna do with Likely? What are we gonna do with Likely? I went in on Likely after week 1. I don't know why. You guys remember back in week 1, I was like, you know what? I think Isaiah Likely is gonna be a thing. Start Conklin. Don't listen to me. Hopefully listen to me, but sometimes don't listen to me. Don't listen to me about tight ends. Tight ends suck. Go Conklin. Smokey, happy PR. Mason, Kyron, Bijan, A-Chain. Whew. I mean, how do we pick 3 here? Said A-Chain, I guess. I mean, Mason and Kyron, I think, are must starts due to matchup, due to volume. I think both of them very good candidates to find the end zone this weekend. Bijan is just tough to set. I mean, Bijan's got the worst matchup here. The Saints are 11th against the position. which is the worst out of these teams. Where are the Titans? Titans are 24th. They're a good matchup. I probably said A-Chain because of the situation he's in with quarterback, but any of these guys can outscore each other. It's a good problem. Michael Wilson or Deontay? I go Deontay. Smokey, Quinn Johnston or Darnell Mooney. Both have bad matchups. I think the volume's slightly better for Quentin Johnston. That's tough. I'd probably start Quentin Johnston, but Darnell Mooney's still very good here. Very, very close. Very, very close, Smokey. Trust your gut. You know, I just think Quentin Johnston plays as a wide receiver 1, which is crazy to say. I mean, nobody was saying this would be the scenario in week 4, basically at week 5 of the season. But yeah, I mean, Quentin Johnston's playing as a wide receiver 1. Mooney's playing as a wide receiver 2. Monty or ETN? Monty. Monty's the RB6. Flex Ridley or Steele? I mean, I'd probably flex Ridley, Smokey. In PPR, I'd probably flex Ridley. It's not a great matchup for Steele. And Hunt is activated, right? So, I mean, I'm staying away from the Chiefs running backs. Abe, Link, hello. Welcome to it. Got to play either Pittman or Waddle. I'd play Waddle. I'm not touching Pittman with a 10-foot pole. I'm not touching the Colts offense today except for Jonathan Taylor. And even then, I don't feel great. Steelers have allowed 2 touchdowns all season long. I'm worried about Anthony Richardson's play today. I can't even begin to think about starting Pittman. He's been so bad. I go Waddle. Tommy, good morning. Naylor or Tucker? I'll go Tucker. I'm worried about Naylor. Like, I still think Naylor can be good in this offense, be involved in this offense, still be a red zone target. The chemistry is still going to be there between him and Sam Darnold. I'm okay with Naylor. Don't think he's like a drop, but Addison's back. Hawkinson's going to be back in a few weeks. I am worried about the volume here. I'll just take the upside and trade Tucker, who's going to be a wide receiver 2 today on his team. Maybe not in fantasy, but on his team. Bowers, Myers in front of him, so maybe he's the 3rd pass catcher, but good matchup for Tucker. Cross your fingers. Smokey, Steele, Ridley, Stevenson for me. Stevenson should bounce back. It's a good matchup. Give me Stevenson. The Niners' defense has not been good. Shane, good morning. Hello. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Good luck today, everyone. Let me know what you guys need. Colts or Chiefs? Asked Smokey. The Chiefs. I know Herbert's playing, but it's still the Chiefs for me. I'm not trusting the Colts. Poke Dude, JSN, McLaurin, or Addison? I think the most upside lies with JSN. You know, he kind of fits the mold of a wide receiver that should play well against the Lions secondary. So I really like JSN. That Addison is okay here too. So, and McLaurin's okay. You want some upside, go JSN. All good plays though. Kelly Loco, Denver, Bills, Titans. You know, I think the Bills are just like really solid, a safe floor team. I don't particularly love them against the Ravens, but they are the 3rd highest scoring defense in fantasy. So I'm okay with them. But if you want some upside, you can go the Titans. But the Titans also suck. You know, it's just kind of like we're getting Tyler Huntley at quarterback. I like the Titans more when it was, you know, Boyle and Thompson, and now we got Huntley. I'm like, well, we don't really know what to expect here to Tyler Huntley, but I think people are expecting something better. So I think the Bills could still get you like 7 or 8 points, you know. Do I trust the Broncos? No, but I could see that being a low scoring game for sure. For sure. I'm actually curious. I want to check now. The Broncos are defense 8. They played well last week, though. They didn't have it. They had 1 turnover against Seattle. They're on the road. They're probably okay. I'll put them in a floor area. They're probably okay. But how down are you on the Jets? Barb, greetings. Kyler or Hurts? I'll go Kyler. It's a great matchup. Washington's defense so bad. Hurts been playing at a lower ceiling, but the bigger thing with Hurts, well, Hurts can always perform. It's, Jahan Dotson's his wide receiver 1 today. AJ Brown's out. Devonta Smith is out. I feel better about Kyler. Do you think Dobbins will have a decent game? No, I'm worried about Dobbins. Worried about Dobbins. I didn't like Dobbins. Dobbins was a sit for me last week. He's had the luxury of playing 2 of the worst run defenses through the first 2 weeks of the season. And now I just worry about him. I think after the bye week, week 5, he should be much better. But this is a tough matchup. It does help that Herbert's playing. But yeah, I just worry here. Just worry. So, I mean, if you have to start him, fair, fine, take it. There's probably still some points here. But I just don't feel great. Just don't feel great. Kyle, love you, bro. You are a handsome man. Not me. Brian Thomas or Dobbins? X House. Brian Thomas, especially if it's full PPR. Brian Thomas. I just cried about J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins can easily find the end zone today. Probably has an okay floor. But yeah, I don't feel good about Dobbins. Roschon Johnson or Braylon Allen. I mean, you're taking a risk with either of these guys, Dalton. I'd probably go Braylon Allen, but the matchup is there for Roschon Johnson. So if you want to take the matchup, go Roschon Johnson. You want to take the player who's had a safer floor, then it's Braylon Allen. So I probably prefer to start Braylon Allen, but I could certainly see the potential to start Roschon Johnson. We're just kind of going off of a loose report, right, with Roschon that he's going to get more touches. So the matchup is easily here for Roschon Johnson, though. The Rams are that bad. They are that bad, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Almost spilled something. Debo or Deontay? I'm still going to go Debo here. Just got a weird notification. Cooper Kupp set to miss the next 2 weeks. I guess that's good news if you own Cooper Kupp. You traded for him 2 more weeks. Puka's out at least another month. We'll see if that's true. I go Debo over Deontay, but I like Deontay a lot today. All right. Shane sent team on Discord. Sorry, guys. I've been really bad with Discord this year. Just been so incredibly busy with the channel. So I know that I haven't answered as many questions on Discord this year. But thank you to those still very active in the Discord community. So we got Darnold, Bijan, Dobbins, Higgins, Shakir, Henry, Coop. So you're flexing Cooper and JSN. Yes, I would leave it like that. I mean, you got Waddle, Shaheed, Jennings, Bigsby, Samaje Perine. Yeah, I would easily go. I mean, I do think Waddle and Jennings, Shaheed, there's an argument for all those guys, but yeah, I take this matchup for JSN against Detroit easily. Cooper's coming off a big game. He's got a solid matchup. Easy. Yeah, you got the right starts there, man. You got the right starts. Good starts for you. Vikings or Chiefs defense? It's the Chiefs defense for me. I went through this week and no one corrected me, which is okay. It's not your guys' fault. But usually someone would be like, you're an idiot. Do you even watch football? I went through the whole week saying that this game was a home game for the Chiefs, and it's not. Like, I literally just realized last night it's a road game for the Chiefs. So, um, part of the reason I liked them so much is because I thought it was a home game. I don't know how I got that wrong all week, but it happens. A lot of information being in my head on a weekly basis, but should still know these things. But I still like the Chiefs defense, even with Herbert playing and it being an away game. I like the Chiefs defense. Just like last week, I like the Chargers and the Steelers defenses. It should be a low scoring affair. Drop Chase Brown for Leggett or Dobbs or just hold. I mean, do you need wide receiver help or running back help, Patrick? It just kind of depends. So if you need more depth at running back or wide receiver, you can make this move based on that. Khalil Shakir or Jawan Jennings. Ask Johnny. It's Shakir for me. Shakir is a must-start player for me. So I'm leaving it at that. I'm worried about Jennings. Dolphins defense or Titans defense or Dolphins or Lions. Dolphins. Yeah, I'm not trusting the Lions defense. The run defense, very good. But their secondary not as good. Their secondary has been playing better. But I don't know. I'll take the Dolphins. Will Levis has a fumble and a pick every game this year. Space Ghost, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Just keep it up. I will keep it up. I will. That's my promise. Jacob, Tutu, Gabe Davis, Dorch, Leggett. Thank you, Space Ghost, for the super chat. That was very nice of you. Jacob, Tutu's kind of sneaky this week. One of those Rams wide receivers got to get some volume. I'd start Greg Dortch. I threw Greg Dortch in a starting lineup this morning. I start Greg Dortch. Leggett's okay. It's Leggett or Dortch for me. I'll go Dortch. But any of those guys could outscore each other. Eternal, drop Zamir or Eckler. I would drop Zamir. I wouldn't drop Eckler. He still has value. He's just hurt this week, but I'd drop Zamir. Get Zamir White off your team. Mooney or Michael Wilson. Mooney for a floor, Michael Wilson for upside. Carson Steele or Chase Brown rest of the season. There's a little bit of risk here. Like, it could end up being Steele is the right answer to keep, but I say based on competition in the backfield, it's probably Chase Brown to keep. Akers, Pickens, or Shakir. I'm very high on Khalil Shakir this week. So, yeah, especially in full PPR. I mean, the game scripts here, Sunday Night Football, points, matchups there. Raven secondary is bad. I take Shakir. Shahid or Rome in PPR. Ask Tommy. I go Rome Odunze. I'm in on Rome Odunze today. Flex the Bills or Packers. I'll go the Bills with Jair Alexander not playing for the Pack. But both are kind of more floor plays than anything this week. Your boy, non-PPR, Godwin, DJ Moore, Pollard, or Steele. I probably stick with Godwin. No, I mean, and I'm sorry, in standard scoring, I'll go Pollard. I mean, I like Godwin and DJ Moore a lot this week, but in a standard scoring format, I'll go Pollard against the Dolphins, bottom 3 against the run, fantasy-wise, so I'll go Pollard. Big points today, that's right. Am I flexing London over A-Chain? I probably would in full PPR. Roshan Johnson or Charb, asked Ben. I'd probably start. It's a bad matchup for Charbonnet, man. I still think you're rolling the dice if you start. That's tough. I still think you're rolling the dice if you start Roshan Johnson. That is a tough one. Chat, would you guys start Roshan Johnson against the Rams or Charbonnet against the Lions? You're giving up the fewest fantasy points to the running back position with Walker back. But Roshan still feels like a gamble. And Roshan, like, it wasn't like Roshan got 10 fantasy points last week from running the football. He got 10 fantasy points because he caught 4 or 5 passes. I think I go Charbs. Tommy, other team, JMO, Dobbs, or Higgins. Should I start Olave or sit him? Still start Olave. I'd flex Higgins. Could flex JMO, but I'd flex Higgins. Try not to sneeze right now. My sneeze turned into a yawn. I don't know how that happens. I wouldn't start Bucky or Braylon over these wide receivers in full PPR. My tea's gone cold. Laporta, Komet, Coleman, Charbs, Roshan need 1 running back and 2 flex. Well, I don't prefer to flex a tight end, but I'd be interested in who your starting tight end is if you have Laporta and Komet also benched. I mean, Laporta's got a good matchup. He's playing. Komet's got a good matchup. Like, you got 2 bottom 10 teams against the tight end position in the Seahawks and the Rams. I've seen people do it before. Start a tight end and flex too. I mean, do I prefer it? No, but your volume for Coleman and Charbonnet and Roshan Johnson is really, really shaky here. But you need 1 running back. I'd probably start Charbonnet if it was me. But I could certainly see a world where Roshan Johnson outscores Charbonnet. You're in a really tough spot, Ben. Like, Coleman is just a low ceiling. Like, I mean, he does have a good matchup here. But like, Coleman scored last week and had 9.4 points, 1 catch. Had 9.1 in week 1 off of 4 catches, 0 in week 2. Like, the matchup's there, but he's just very volatile. And he's not even volatile with a high ceiling. He's volatile with a low ceiling, which worries me. So it isn't a bad matchup for Coleman, but I kind of rule him out here. I think I go Charbs. And then I go Laporta and Komet. I can't believe I'm saying that. Chat, we got to help Ben out. This is the toughest one of the day. And I feel for you, bro. I mean, there's a lot of injuries out here and everything. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing because it is so tough, bro. Like I said, Laporta and Komet have really good matchups. I mean, I've done it before. You know, I've started 2 tight ends, whatever. It's just like, is the volume here for Roshan, Charbs, and Coleman going to be better than Laporta and Komet? You're using Jennings in the flex, I see at the bottom of the chat. I mean, I for this situation, I'm okay with Jennings. I'll just put it this way. Charbs has an awful matchup and Kenneth Walker's back. So maybe you do go Roshan Johnson here, but the risk with Roshan Johnson is there's still 2 other running backs on that team, and the offensive line sucks butt. So, like, I like Roshan Johnson. I think he's a very solid stash. Very good player to pick up this week. Has a really good upcoming schedule. Maybe I just take the matchup and with Roshan and go Komet and Laporta. Just go with the matchups. I think that's what it has to come down to. Charbs is just very volatile, low ceiling. Will probably be more involved this week with Walker's first game back from injury, but it's a really bad matchup. It's the worst possible matchup. The Lions run defense, least fantasy points to running backs. So I could see the argument to go Coleman here too. It's tough. That's tough. I think you could go Laporta, Komet, and Roshan, or Roshan, Laporta, Coleman. Tough, Ben. You got me stumped. All right, let's move along here. Martin bench Tyreek for Debo. or start Debo over Jacobs in my flex, have Kyron and Mason. All good options. If it's full PPR, I would start Tyreek and Debo in my flex spots. But if you want to go Jacobs over Tyreek, I'm okay with it. It's kind of like, you guys want to bench Tyreek this week? Okay, I'm completely okay with it. But I think he's also startable. He's just we're not expecting the normal ceiling out of him. So full PPR, I prefer wide receivers in the flex. But if you want to go Jacobs over Tyreek, that's fine. I would start Debo, though. Jacob Pollard or Waddle rest of the season? I mean, really depend on your roster. What do you need more? I still really like Pollard. I know he had a bad week last week, but he's been pretty solid. I think he'll bounce back this week against the Dolphins run defense. So it really depends. Do you need running back or wide receiver? Pretty equal here. Estol, Darnold or Fields? Darnold for me with Alexander out, but Fields is still a good floor. Full PPR, need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, McLaurin, Lockett, Waddle, Kirk, Lazard, Wilson, Mason, Etienne, Kenneth, or JT. Wow. Jordan Mason. See, and what makes this one tough is like Etienne on the Jags, and they are bad. Kenneth against the Lions, JT against the Steelers. Because really, like, I think most weeks you're flexing a running back here. So let's go to wide receiver. Start McLaurin, start Waddle. If you want upside, go Michael Wilson over Waddle. But I'm boring. I take the floor, but Michael Wilson over Waddle's fine if you want the upside. Then I'm going 3 running backs. Mason, probably still Jonathan Taylor, and ETN is safe. No ceiling. Kenneth is risky coming off injury going up against the Lions. So I might bench Kenneth Walker here, but I'm definitely starting 3 running backs over an additional wide receiver. Space goes, I had a dream that HA got hurt. No more Patron from that logic. Thinking I should play him. Yes, do the opposite of your dreams. Niners worldwide. Good to see you. Full PPR, pick 3. HA, Mason, Monty, Moss, Ford. Wow. I'm envious of some of your guys' rosters who didn't get played by injuries. And I have some rosters where I'm very deep, and I have some where, starting Justice Hill or Braylon Allen. Very good situation. I go Mason, Monty, and Moss. But any of these guys can outscore each other. Still a good matchup for A-Chain. You could go A-Chain, and this is really tough. Good matchup for Ford. Very, very tough here. Very, 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 very good options. So trust your gut. Kelsey touchdown today. You like it? Take it. Take it. He's got to be back at some point. According to, we have a lot of football experts that are only experts on Travis Kelce, and according to them, he's washed and has been partying too much with Taylor Swift. All right, guys, half an hour till kickoff. Let's go. Don't have any good running backs except for Rachaad White. I mean, I still think Rachaad White is startable today. I'll leave it at that. There's hope, Godzilla Toes. McClain, Reed, Cooper, Debo, all are great starts. If Debo's healthy, though, I'm firing him up. I like all these guys a lot this week, though. Good problem. Thoughts on Mostert? I'm not touching Mostert with a 10-foot pole. He can be on my bench as a handcuff, but that's it. That's it. Ben, am I crazy playing Rome Komet and Roshan? No, the Rams are that bad. I mean, it should have been way more spread out last week, but it all went to Jawan Jennings. But the Rams are that bad. We should have seen like an Ayuk score, a Jennings score, a Jordan Mason score. Instead, we saw 3 Jennings scores, but the Rams are that bad. Yeah, it's okay. You can do this. Stevenson or Braylon Allen? I'll go Stevenson. The volume's better. He should bounce back this week. I will say in regard to the Bears, this offense is still very shaky, but they bring a lot of upside to the table today. But yeah, Stevenson should bounce back. I prefer him over Braylon Allen. Akers, Steele, or Mooney. I'm in on Akers. Give me Akers. All right, guys, trying to hurry up and get to the bottom of the chat for you guys. If you guys want anything further explained, let me know. Need help with second flex spot, Carson Steele or Ladd. Could also get Quentin Johnson, Trey Tucker. I mean, in full PPR, I prefer all these guys over Steele today. I don't feel good about Steele against the Chargers. Hunt's going to play. I stay away for me for the Chiefs running backs. Low ceiling. One of them scores maybe, but that's about it. It reminds me like Rico Dowdle, Zeke. Like I'm just staying away. Better offense, but I'm staying away. I think Ladd's fine. If you just want to roll Ladd, that's fine. Tucker offers a little bit of upside, but risk. Quentin Johnston, similar to Ladd, you're just looking at a floor here. So if you want to go Ladd, that's okay. Dotson or Dortch? I'm going Dortch. I'm not starting Dotson. Sorry. Roshan, Mostert, or Ford? I go Ford. Go Ford in that situation. Cats, good morning. Just popping in to say start Johnny Wilson in your 3 wide receiver 6 flex leagues. In that circumstance, I would start Johnny Wilson, but only that circumstance. Drop Ty Chandler for Roshan Johnson. Yes, I would rather own Roshan Johnson at this moment. If Jones goes down, Ty Chandler will be the starting running back for the Vikings, though. Still a good handcuff. Since everyone's benching him, I think AR is about to go crazy. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with your logic. For the buy low video today or this past week, Anthony Richardson was the quarterback I chose. That's a good buy low. So yeah, I think Richardson, could still be okay this year for sure. I'm not out on him. We've seen the ceiling is 27 fantasy points, but the Steelers are allowing the fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks on the season so far, and they've allowed the fewest touchdowns overall on the season so far. So he has had 5 picks in the last 2 games, and the matchup is bad. Pittman or Waddle, wide receiver 2. Waddle. Yeah, I don't like the Colts today, other than JT, and I'm worried about him. Likely Higgins, Henry. Higgins. Yeah, sorry. I shouldn't have taken that long. Higgins. McLaurin, Kenneth, Ford. If it's full PPR, I flex the wide receiver. If not, I go Jerome Ford. Flex Rome, Hill, Tucker. I would start Rome. I like Rome Odunze today. I'm not worried about Keenan Allen. It's my opinion. Could be wrong. I mean, Chase Brown, if you could drop him, but he's still a good handcuff. Traded Ayuk for Reed. I'm okay with that. Ty Chandler or Charbs to start? It's a coin flip. They're both touchdown dependent right now. It's a coin flip. I'd rather hold Charbs, but this week, flipping a heavy coin. Would you trade Pitts and Swift for Mixon? Who do you have at tight end? Bowers? Yeah, I do this in a heartbeat. Get Swift off your roster. I do this in a heartbeat. Starting Braylon Allen over Dobbins. Just feels like Braylon will be used like crazy. A lot of people really of the belief that Braylon Allen's going to get a lot of volume. I mean, I'm still worried about Braylon Allen. He got a lot more involvement last week because they were so high up on the Patriots. I mean, I guess we look at last week, Rachaad White, Bucky Irving against Denver, both got used. I mean, I'm okay with Allen, but I still think I don't know what the ceiling is here. Roshan or Deontay Johnson in the flex. I'm going Deontay Johnson. I'm not really in on starting Roshan Johnson unless you don't have anything better. Start Khalil Shakir, Aaron Jones. Khalil Shakir for me, even in standard. Jones still a very good start. If you went Jones, I don't blame you, but I like Shakir. Even in standard. Scary Terry, Akers, Jennings, Shaheed, pick 2. Terry and Akers for me. The other 2 are very volatile for me this week. Full PPR start 2. Tyreek, London, Moss, Shaheed, and Coop. Matchups are with Moss and Cooper. If you want to go Tyreek or London over one of those two, that's fine. Tough choices, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Ben got the full Bears team playing against Keenan Allen. I don't think Keenan's going to be a huge factor today, but I could be wrong. Keith, need 2 wide receivers, 10-man, full PPR, Deontay, Shaheed, London, Ayuk, Myers, and Hill. I don't know if I said that. Yeah, that is tough. I'd probably start Deontay and London, Ayuk, Hill are like all in a similar tier. I don't think I'm starting Myers or Shaheed over those guys. I do like Myers. Shaheed is still startable. I'd probably just roll Hill and Deontay and take the volume, but you could go London over Hill if you're worried about that situation. Tough. I think this could be the week Ayuk finally scores. That is tough, Keith. Who are you leaning towards? We buy homes near you, 512. Non-PPR, need a wide receiver, a flex, and a tight end. Pollard, Deontay, or Reed. Likely Schultz, etc. Looking for touchdowns for sure. I'll go Komet. I'll take the matchup against the Rams. Conklin and Ertz are fine, but more PPR plays. I'll go Komet for hunting for the end zone. I'll go Pollard in the flex. Take him against this Dolphins run defense. And I'll go Jaden Reed over Deontay, but it's definitely close. So Pollard in the flex, Reed at wide receiver, Komet at tight end. Thoughts on AR rest of season versus other quarterbacks? It really depends. I'm not out on Anthony Richardson. I like trading for him right now if you still can. He's probably not going to do good today, but we still know the ceiling's very high. He's definitely struggling. There's definitely red flags. But you look across the league, quarterbacks are struggling. Offensive line play is like historically bad. Their defense is owning the field this year so far, which is not good for fantasy. It's not good for sports gambling. It's not good for, rookie quarterbacks and young quarterbacks are taking longer than ever to develop. It doesn't feel like that because we had this little stretch of like Burrow and Herbert and even guys like Lamar Jackson. You got like Brock Purdy coming out of nowhere. It doesn't really, even guys like Kyler and Tua, it doesn't feel like it, but you go back to like the past 2 or 3 years, like rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks are taking a long time. I guess like also players like Josh Allen and, but then you start to look at really this year, like a lot of quarterback play has just been like close to historically awful, so I'm not going to really put an out verdict on a player like Anthony Richardson just yet, but the concern is there and concern is high. But at least like you look at Anthony Richardson and he has, a start this year with the ceiling of 27 points. Stroud hasn't scored more than 18 fantasy points on the season. Stroud really struggled last week, So I don't think it's fair to be out on Richardson, but not out on like CJ Stroud per se. Then you look at a player like, at least it's not like Trevor Lawrence, where Trevor Lawrence hasn't topped 13 fantasy points on the season. At least we have a high ceiling for Anthony Richardson. But, as the season goes on, we have to expect that teams are going to start to adjust to a player like Anthony Richardson, All right. There's my rant. Waddle or Bucky Irving? I'll go Waddle. Mr. Skurs, good morning. What's up? Kirk or Mooney? Yeah, if you want to diversify here and go Mooney, that's fine. But it is a tough matchup against the Saints. Kirk, I think, is okay. But how much did the game script benefit him last week is the question. AR Love. Olave, London, Deontay. I'd probably just roll with Olave. But a game script for the Saints Falcons doesn't feel great. If you want to go Deontay, that's fine. All are good. Olave, London, Deontay is a very similar tier. Like all these guys can outscore each other. So trust your gut, Jason. Tough. John, appreciate you, bro. Good luck to you. I mean, Tommy, thank you for appreciating me. Good luck to you, Tommy. Always love having you around, bro. Yeah, Braylon Allen's your boy this week. Kel's Goff or Carr. Probably Goff due to matchup. And it is kind of not a great matchup for either, but I'll go Goff, I guess. Both have been bad. This is a big coin flip, Kels. I don't want to say I'm confident. Andrea, good morning. Hello. Good luck today. I have Javonte Williams. No, you can't play him. You are right on that, Ben. That is one part of your equation I'm not stumped on. I am not starting Javonte. Swift or Pittman? Oh, God, Mason. Both these guys have been stayaways all week for me, but I'll take the matchup. I'll go Swift. Sorry, trying to look back up in the chat. Hate to ask this, DX, but can you repeat your question? Because I don't see it. It may have not come through for me. Just repeat it and I'll make sure I get it answered here for you. Didn't mean to skip you, but sorry. It is a little difficult to scroll up, guys. I know that sounds not true, but yeah, I don't see it. So just let me know and I'll get back to you for sure. Murray or Daniels? I mean, I love both these guys. Points, bad defenses, good offenses. I got this one last night. I don't remember who I said, but I'll take Kyler by a hair. Bucky or Dunze? I'll go Dunze. Strange or Parkinson? Strange. I mean, Parkinson has done next to nothing. Jenna, I have likely in Pitts. Start one of them. I'll start Pitts. No, just start Pitts. Don't need to pick anyone else up. Start Pitts. Oh, and I just realized the question I got earlier about Higgins was not T. Higgins. Where was that question? Likely Higgins or Hunter? I thought this was T. Higgins, but it's not. I'll go Hunter Henry, but I hate all these options. Literally. Good morning, Cameron. What's up, bro? Can't wait to go 4-0 against your boy. Are we playing today? Good luck if we are. I need to check my lineups. AR in a 2025 first or Dak in a 2027 first. I think we talked about this last night. If you're win now, I'd probably take Dak. If you're long term, I'd probably take AR. I'm not too caught up on the 2 first-round picks here. The upside lies with the Anthony Richardson side, and it's an earlier pick. So, I mean, if this was preseason, we'd be saying Anthony Richardson for sure. So, I might lean Richardson, but I don't think it's really like a strong lose on either side or anything. Debo Dobbins, London. What's up, Taylor? I would start Debo in London and stay away from the matchup for Dobbins this week. Good to see you, Taylor. King Smoker, what's up, my guy? Geno Smith or Purdy? I'll go Purdy. I like Purdy this week. Geno, probably a safe play. Good enough matchup. So, I like Purdy, though. I'd probably stick with Purdy. He's good, safe. Both are fine. Oz, Likely, Andrews, or Strange. They can all suck it up and do Likely or Andrews. I talked about this last night. I'll start Andrews. Good matchup. Give Andrews one last shot. Panic is high, but I'll go Andrews. Jennings or J-Mo? I'll go J-Mo. I'm worried about Jennings. If you go Jennings, it's okay. Both are volatile for sure, so it's a bit of a coin flip. Kirk or Wilson? I'll take the upside in the matchup with Wilson. Kirk is the floor play. If you want upside, go Wilson. Anthony Stevenson or Dunze? Full PPR, I'll go Dunze. I'm in on a Dunze. Might bite us, ladies and gentlemen, but I like him this week. Stevenson's okay. He'll bounce back. If you want to go Stevenson, he's probably safer. Dunze has more upside. Ben, clarity may help. We got Allen, Diggs, Rome, Ford, Roshan or Charb, Jennings, Laporta, commit, Coleman, and the other flex. Lost Pacheco and Brown. Could flex Jay Allen and Coleman. Damn, dude. Some of these injuries, the ways they're making our rosters look just like scary. Now, I just stay as is with what we talked about. So Allen, Diggs, Rome, Ford, Roshan. Probably keep Jennings in the flex. And then I would flex Laporta. Do you not have a tight end spot? Yeah, I go with what I just said. Allen, Diggs, Rome, Ford, Roshan, Jennings, Laporta. Cross your fingers, my guy. It's tough out here. Kirk or Shaheed, I'd take, or Brian Thomas, Kirk or Shaheed. I think I go Brian Thomas by a hair. Could start Shaheed, but the risk is there. Oz, Tucker, Prater, Boswell. I go Boswell. I'm sticking with, I think I'd go Justin Tucker, actually. But I really like Boswell. Sometimes I try to look for kickers on bad teams because they score less. Where's Tucker right now? He's the kicker 19. Jeez. I think I'd go Boswell. He's been a beast. But these are all good options. I'm a little off Naverson this week because it's a tough matchup, but I do like him. Prater's been solid too. I mean, you know, with kickers, like any of these guys could have 19 points or 3 points. So I like Boswell. Who do I start? Olave, Ayuk, Wilson. I'd sit Wilson. Against Pat Surtain. I talked about it in today's video. Which, by the way, thank you guys for liking today's video. It did very well. And I've been trying to kind of figure out a nice, like, good, solid video for early Sunday morning before I stream. And looked like you guys, you know, today's video did well. And thank you guys for checking it out. But I'd sit Garrett Wilson. Broke it down pretty extensively in today's video. It's the very, very last thing I talk about if you want to check it out. Run CMC, what's up? Traded Burrow and starting him over. Traded for Burrow. Yeah, I'd start Burrow over these two guys. But Caleb, I do like today. I don't like Anthony Richardson today. All right, guys. 12 minutes. Stack Burrow with Chase or start Chase with Murray. I'd start Murray. I really like Kyler today. Burrow's very good too, but I like Kyler a lot. Run CMC, 10 PPR. Gibbs, A-Chain, Mason, Kyron, sit one, please. I mean, listen, you're not making a wrong start no matter what you do here. No, your guess is as good as mine. You're not making a wrong start no matter what happens here. All of these guys are great starts, super solid today. You can't really go wrong. You know, I don't want to not give you an answer. I probably maybe just due to the quarterback situation, sit A-Chain, but A-Chain has a very, very good matchup too. But Kyron, Mason, Gibbs, like I love Kyron's matchup. I love Mason's matchup. I don't think I'm ever benching Gibbs if he's healthy. So you can't go wrong here. A-Chain still has a good matchup. He just has kind of maybe the limited offense this week. So, you know, this is certainly tough, but just know that you're not making a wrong choice no matter what you do. It's up to the fantasy gods there. Run CMC. Kells, JMO or Chuba? I'd probably just take the safe floor with Chuba, but JMO does have nice upside. So if you prefer some upside here, you could go JMO. But I think if it was me, I'd probably just start Chuba and take what I get there. Would you start Baker or AR? I'd start Baker. Like, I know the Eagles have been pretty good against opposing quarterbacks. We saw that last week as well. But their secondary still has been really bad. So there's still, you know, plenty of opportunity for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to have good games today. So yeah, I would just go Baker because the Steelers have allowed the fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks on the season, fewest touchdowns overall on the season. So I go Baker. I'm in a league where I punted quarterback and I've been rolling Baker or Carr and it was working. And then today I got to choose. I'm probably just going Baker. Najee or Garrett Wilson. I mean, I don't like Garrett Wilson this week. I still think like Garrett Wilson is startable. Like the volume is still here. So if you have to roll with him, you have to roll with him. I get it. But Najee's got a great matchup. I'd probably just go Najee. I'm very, very, very worried about Garrett Wilson this week. Don't feel good about him. So I would just leave it at that. Give me Najee. Pat Surtain has been very good this year against wide receiver ones. Start Olave or Ayuk. I mean, you're in a very, very close tier here. Super close. Super, super close here. The matchups with Ayuk, so I'll probably go Ayuk. All right, DX, here we go, bro. With Mixon out, should I start Chuba or get Ford/Myers from free agents? I probably just take the safe floor in Chuba. It's a good matchup. I probably just roll with Chuba, but I do like Jerome Ford. It is, Jerome Ford should be rostered, and it is a very good matchup for Jerome Ford today. So, I like Jerome Ford against the Raiders quite a bit, but Chuba at home against the Bengals, I think will be solid. So, I would probably just take the floor and roll with Chuba here. But you have good options across the board here. But yeah, sucks that you lost Mixon, bro. Should be hopefully just one more week here. But I would go ahead and roll with Chuba. Good question, though. Good luck. Outsold, Dobbins or Keenan Allen? I don't trust Keenan Allen at all. I don't like Dobbins this week due to his matchup, but this is tough for you, bro. I'd probably just go J.K. Dobbins. Don't love it, but I really don't feel good about Keenan Allen, to say the least. Love or Geno? I prefer Jordan Love. We got this question earlier too from a different member. I go Love by hair, but I still think that Geno has a really good floor this week. So if you had to roll with Geno, I still think he's startable. But man, I'll go Love. I think Love's gonna have a good game. I think that I've opened up to that Vikings Packers game a bit more. Yeah, I think we're gonna see more points as opposed to defense. Jadeb says, check your lineups. I know. I'm doing it as we speak. Start Rome or Mooney. I go Rome. I take the upside here. I mean, Mooney's still a nice floor play. Probably pretty safe. Yeah, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with my boy Rome. And okay, Akers is here too. I mean, for what it's worth, I do like Akers a lot. I've been in on Akers all morning, all weekend, all that stuff. But I gotta go Rome. Way, way too much upside with Rome in this matchup. All right. Trying to check my lineups very quickly. Ben, you are welcome. Thank you for hitting the like and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate the support. Happy to help. Plenty of content and streams this week. I can start 2 tight ends, so I'm starting Charb and Coleman based on your advice in chat. Thanks again. Fingers crossed. Yeah, just know. I mean, you're in a tough spot, man. You got to sometimes cross your fingers. And man, these injuries just really derailing a lot of fantasy lineups. We're rooting for you, bro. I was liking sub for the dub. Let's go. A-Chain or Chase, ask Glock Guy. Half PPR, half point per first down. I mean, I go, if it's Chase Brown, is it Jamar Chase or Chase Brown? If it's Jamar Chase, you still got to start Jamar Chase. Easily still got to start Jamar Chase. But if it's not, I just go, I go A-Chain. I mean, it's what other Chase could there be? Chase Brown and Jamar Chase, right? So Andrew, have a good day. Good luck to everyone. All right, guys, that should just about do it. If you guys want to get something in here last second, go ahead and do so. But we're about 4 minutes till kickoff. It is Jamar Chase. Yeah, I still go Jamar Chase. I mean, A-Chain has a great matchup. It's half PPR. Huntley's at quarterback. I still think A-Chain could be solid, but it's got to be Jamar Chase, bro. Got to be. Ridley or Ford? Smokey, I'm going with Ford. I'll take the matchup. The Raiders suck. So just give me the matchup here. And let's not look back. Would you drop either Pickens or Terry for Ford? Running backs are Mixon, Chuba, and Pollard. You have CD, Marvin, Johnson, Kupp, Pickens. It really Mixon, Chuba, Pollard. I mean, I feel like you need more running back depth, so you could drop Pickens here. But Pickens is also still a rosterable player. If you want the running back depth, I would take Ford. I feel like Ford's floor and Pickens' floor are very close. We haven't really seen that big game out of Pickens. So Pickens is still rosterable, but this is close. I mean, it's close. Close to say the least. Man, I'm in a league where I have Henry, Kamara, Monty, and Moss. And I want to start all of them, but I can't. Elijah Higgins are likely. Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine here. I guess the matchup lies with Elijah Higgins. And likely's been very, very volatile. So I guess Higgins, but your guess is as good as mine. That it gets really, really dicey when we're moving into this tier of tight ends. Deontay or Najee? I'll take Deontay. He's playing. I think the ceiling's better. If it's full PPR especially, I take Deontay. But I think this is probably your half PPR league. I still take Deontay. I like Najee. Najee's still solid, but I'll take Deontay. The Red Rifles come to save the Panthers. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the fantasy questions today. Thank you guys for hanging out. Good luck to everyone. It's a tough week. It's a tough start to the year. Scoring's down. Quarterback play is bad. Offensive line play is bad. Injuries are all over the place. It's a tough week. Don't forget that the first 4 games of your fantasy season are the least important games. Whether you are 0-4 after today, 2-2, 1-3, undefeated. We got a long season, boys and girls. Smitty, Ford, Dobbins, Adunze. Give me the upside and Adunze. If you want a floor, go Jerome Ford. You need upside, Adunze. If you feel pretty good about your lineup, just go Jerome Ford. Both are good starts. I'm out on Dobbins due to matchup this week. Do you think Dortch does well? Yes. How well? I don't know. The ceiling is still limited. Wilson's in front of him. MH is in front of him. James Conner should have a good day, but the matchup is there. If you're desperate, you could start Greg Dortch, but only if you are desperate. I'm not going out of my way to start him. If you're desperate, it's fine. All right, guys, we'll be back tonight with our panic video. We'll be rolling right back into our normal content throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll have our waiver wire video and our must start defenses, and we'll just be rolling right into everything we do each week here. So thank you guys so much for all the support here in week 4. Good luck to everyone. Fingers crossed for everybody. Like I said, tough choices here in the fantasy community. So good luck, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here. on the catch, and peace.